Everyone, welcome to Little Lovers channel. Today let's look upon the summary of Hamlet, Shakespeare work. So let's see its introduction initially. So Hamlet title The Tragedy of Hamlet as Prince of Denmark, written likely between the 1599 to 1602. It's written in London, England. It's published first printed in 1603 and second in 1604, and first folio print is 1623. Its literary period is Renaissance. Genre, it's a type of tragic play and revenge play. Setting, the play settings in Elsinore Castle, Denmark during the late Middle Age. Climax. After seeing Claudius's emotional reaction to a play Hamlet has had staged in order to make Claudius face fictionalized version his own murder. Here, Hamlet and the characters, all the characters will get dead at the end of the novel. Here, antagonist is Claudius, who is the uncle of Hamlet, and a point of view is dramatic. So let's come to the play. Characters in the play are Hamlet, major characters. Is a prince of Denmark and son of the king. Hamlet and Queen Gertrude. Late King Hamlet is the Duke. We'll call him as a Duke. Later Claudius, Hamlet's uncle and stepfather. Later he becomes, after the death of the Hamlet father, Claudius becomes the father of this Hamlet. He married Hamlet's mother. Gertrude is Hamlet's mother, Claudius' wife. After he marries, after the death of the Hamlet's father. Polonius, a counselor or advisor to Claudius and father of Ophelia and Laertes. Means Paulinus has two kids. Ophelia is a lover of Hamlet, has a daughter, and later she dies because of insane. Laertes is a son of the Paulinus, and he also died at the end of the novel. And he is a brother of Ophelia, and he is the one who wants to take a revenge of Polonius' death. Next, Ophelia, I told you that the ghost it appears in front of a Hamlet, but others cannot able to see. And it said that Claudius, who is the one who make a conspiracy that he intentionally make a ghost kind of thing, and which in order to make a Hamlet as an insane, to show off the people that Hamlet is insane. So next is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern has a pair of Hamlet old school friend who works for the Claudius, and at the end they die too. Not at the end, in the middle of the play only they'll die. Laertes is Ophelia's father, I told you that, and Polonius' son. Horatio, Hamlet's a true friend, closest friend and most trusted one, and he tries to help the Hamlet to come out of this trap, and but Hamlet doesn't listen to him. Fortinbras, the Prince of Norway, a young leader motivated to conquer a foreign land because their land was conquered by the Hamlet's father. So Yorick, the deceased royal jester, who reminds Hamlet cradles and plays with after a pair of gravediggers. So these are the major character of the play. Let's come to the summary. Here initially a ghost resembling this recently deceased king of Denmark, that is the Hamlet's father. He comes in front of the Hamlet, and he said that he get killed by someone, so you have to take a revenge. So the terrified sentinels, Marcellus, Francisco, Bernardo, they are the soldiers who convinces a skeptical nobleman and Horatio to watch along with them one night. And when Horatio sees the ghost, he decides they should tell to the prince Hamlet, his closest friend and the dead king's son. Hamlet is also the nephew of the present king Claudius, who not only assumed his dead brother's crown but also married king's widow, Gertrude. Next, Claudius seems to be an able king, easily handling the threat of the Norwegian prince Fortinbras, who is seeking back the revenge. So, Hamlet, however, cannot accept his uncle's rule. He was furious as he is about Gertrude marriage to Claudius, and resentful of both his mother and his uncle. See, initially ghost appears in front of a soldier, not in front of the Hamlet. Okay, next, and as he speaks with it, it claims to be the spirit of his father. The ghost reveals that he did not die of natural cause, but rather was poisoned by Claudius. Hamlet, newly enraged, quickly accepts the ghost's command to seek revenge. As the day passes, however, Hamlet, uncertain if what the ghost said is true or not, he is just in confusion, dilemma, and later he should actually kill his. It means he decided whether he must kill his uncle and take a revenge. So he acted as a half-mad person, contemplates suicide, and becomes furious at all women. He tells himself to investigate his uncle without the king realizing Hamlet is onto him. But as Hamlet investigates his own existential and moral center, his thoughts begin to tend towards serious distress, if not full-blown madness. So initially he started to act, but later this acting make this person a bit insane. So madness is going to start in his mind. The king's obsequious old counselor, that is counselors means the one who gave a guidance to the king, that is Polonius, begins to believe that Hamlet's behavior is tend to his affections for Ophelia, Polonius' daughter, and because Ophelia is the one who fell in love with this Hamlet, but Polonius is against to it. Later, Claudius and Gertrude, that is both wife and husband now, they were unsatisfied with Polonius' assessments. Summoned two of Hamlet's old school friends, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, to try to find out what's wrong with him, as Polonius develops a plot to spy on a meeting between Hamlet and Ophelia, because Polonius give a hint that they both are in love. This Hamlet and Ophelia are in love. Later, these two, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, they both spy on this Hamlet. Hamlet develops a plot of his own to have a recently arrived troupe of actors, but on a play that resembles Claudius' alleged murder of King Hamlet. It means he himself participated, and he shows a play that Claudia, that is as his own father, how his father died. In the same way, the situation is recreated in the play, uh, because he wants to see this Claudius' reaction to it. So Hamlet decides that if Claudius reacts, so it will confirm that his father get means get killed by this Claudius, and then it's easy to him to take a revenge. In other words, he'll have no excuse not to act decisively and kill the king. So, Polonius and Claudius successfully spy on the meeting between Ophelia and Hamlet, during which Ophelia attempts to return gifts and letters to Hamlet, is given by him, or over an undetermined amount of time, suggesting that Ophelia and Hamlet have had a romantic and perhaps a sexual relationship for a while. Hamlet files into a rage against women and marriage, and claiming that women only breed sinners, and ordering Ophelia to get herself to a nunnery. It means he scolds her, and he enraged in front of Ophelia. He acts as a that is mad person, because he wants to show that, make others to believe, even Ophelia to believe, that he is insane. So he is mad. Okay. Next, Claudius concludes Hamlet neither loves Ophelia nor is he mad. Seeing Hamlet's increasing instability as a threat, Claudius decides to send him away to England, where he will be less of a nuisance. So, at the play that night, however, as the actors performs a scene which was created by this Hamlet, which mirrors the events of King Hamlet's King Hamlet's murder, Claudius runs from the room, and those proved his guilty in Hamlet hides. Hamlet's mother, Gertrude, angry with Hamlet's embarrassing behavior at the play, summons him to her quarters to talk to him about what's going on. Hamlet nearly gets a chance to take a revenge on the way to see Gertrude. He comes upon Claudius alone and praying in a chamber. In front of this Hamlet, Claudius was, it means Hamlet, his words off. He stood there. Claudius is praying as he dies. While he decided to kill, but holds off, because if he kill this Claudius while he is praying, so he thinks that his soul might go to heaven. Even after determining Claudius' guilt through his intricate plot, Hamlet is unable to take action. In Gertrude's room, Hamlet berates his mother for marrying Claudius so aggressively that she thinks he might kill her. The ghost of Hamlet's father here we appear again, and to Hamlet it started to enrage to Hamlet again and again, but Gertrude claims not to be able to see it and cries out that her son is truly mad. Polonius, who is spying on the meeting from behind a tapestry, calls for help, and Hamlet thinks Polonius and is Claudius, which is means other side of the curtain, there is tapestry, and he stabs him through the tapestry, killing him. So Polonius died there. Claiming that he wants to protect Hamlet from punishment for killing Polonius, Claudius sends Hamlet to England with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Claudius' real motivation, however, is to have Hamlet to be killed. So he sends these two people, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, onward with a letter writing to the King of England that Denmark's ally to execute means to hang off this Hamlet. Meanwhile, Polonius' son Laertes returns to Denmark from his studies in France to avenge his father's death. He finds that his sister Ophelia, who this Hamlet scolded as to go and be a nunnery saint. So she has gone insane with a grief over her father's death and Hamlet's rejection, and watches as she puts on a macabre and yet spellbinding display of singing old nursery rhymes along Baudry ballroom songs, all the while passing out invisible flowers to the members of court. Claudius convinces Lotus that Polonius' death and Ophelia's madness are both Hamlet's fault. So he is the one who is killing two birds on one stone. So when news arrives that a pirate attack has allowed Hamlet to escape back to Denmark, Claudius comes up with a new plot in which a supposedly friendly duel between Hamlet and Lotus will actually be a trap. Lotus' rapier will be poisoned. It means the sword of Lotus was challenged this Hamlet to be killed, so that edge of it will be poisoned. As a backup, Claudius will also poison some wine that he'll give to Hamlet if he wins. So two poison things are present at the time of war. Ophelia drowns in an apparent suicide, and a funeral is arranged for her. This news was reached this Hamlet. Even the suicides are not supposed to be given proper Christian burials. According to a pair of grave diggers preparing her grave, Ophelia will be buried with a limited set of rites, since she is a noblewoman. Hamlet arrives back at Elsinore, where this grave diggers are working. As he observes them doing their morbid task merrily, he watches as they casually toss out the skull of Yorick, his father's old court jester. Hamlet's existentialism and nihilism reach new peaks as he looks at the skull, realizing that all living souls, be they great or common, good or evil, reach the same ends. When Hamlet realizes that it is Ophelia being buried, he bursts onto her memorial service, arguing that he loved her best of anyone. He loved more. Even as Lotus, stricken with grief, throws himself into his sister's grave. Back at the castle, Hamlet tells Horatio of his exploits on the ocean, revealing that he discovered Claudius' plot and forged a letter in Claudius' handwriting, ordering the execution of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern instead of him. So Hamlet shares Horatius that he has seen the letter which written by this Claudius in order to hang him to the king of England. She exchanged the letter to execute these two people, and they both were killed while they are reaching in England. When a courtier named Osric brings the news, Lotus challenged to a duel. Hamlet bravely accepted. Horatio warns Hamlet not to do so because it might be another trap, but Hamlet ignores Horatio that he no longer cares whether he lives or dies. He wants to leave his fate up to God. During the match, Gertrude drinks to Hamlet's success from the poisoned glass of wine before Claudius can stop her. Lotus then wounds Hamlet with a poisoned blade, but in the scuffle they exchange swords while just doing a fight, and Hamlet wounds this Lotus. Gertrude falls, saying the wine was poisoned, and dies. that mother dies, Laertes, realizing that he too is doomed by his own poison, reveals Claudius's treachery. Hamlet kills Claudius by stabbing him with the poisoned sword and pouring wine down the man's throat forcefully, as he poisoned to the Hamlet's father. And Hamlet and Laertes forgive each other. Just before Laertes collapse, thus Hamlet dies, he hears the drums of 14 bros. I told you this name. They are eager to take a revenge, and conquer this land. Army marching through the Denmark after a battle with the Polish, and tells Horatio with his dying breath. This is Hamlet tells to the Horatio, that's a friend, that Fortibras should be the one who to ascend to the throne as the next king of Denmark. Looking around at the mess of the spilled wine and bloody bodies, Hamlet charges Horatio with telling the world the full truth of Hamlet's story. He dies, and Horatio bids the sweet prince goodbye. Fortibras enters with a pair of ambassadors from England, who announce the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Horatio begins to tell Hamlet's story, and Fortibras orders Hamlet's body to be lifted up on a bier and displayed with the due honor and glory of a soldier. So this is what Hamlet initially started to take a revenge, but at the end of the play, he too died. While taking the revenge, he too died, and there is no use for anyone. And Claudius goes on making a trap to kill this Hamlet. At the end, he to fail, he to get killed. So that's the tragedy of the play.